Please join me in welcoming back to the interview area three-time champion Tiger Woods. Tiger, how does it feel to be back at the U.S. Open, but especially one here at Pinehurst?
Well, it's great to be back. I love U.S. Opens. I love the tests of U.S. Opens. And I've had a little bit of success here back in '99 and 2005. So I'm looking forward to this week and getting underway.
We're going to go on the right, Dan, and then Bob.
Hey, Tiger. We were talking to Colin Morikawa last week at the Memorial, and he said, doing that clinic with you, that your game, the shots, it's all there. It's still there. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like your body right now is in a spot that you can win this tournament? Has it improved enough to where you feel like you have the strength to carry it for 4 rounds?
Yeah, I do. I do. I do feel like I have the strength to be able to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. This golf course is going to test every single aspect of your game, especially mentally, and just the mental discipline that it takes to play this particular golf course. And it's going to take a lot. And we've been working on that and making sure that I understand the game plan and be ready, in 2 more days.
Stay on the right with Bob.
Tiger, since the PGA, what have you had to focus on the most? Is it more your fitness? Is it more your game? The sharpness part of it? And how much did coming up here, I guess, last week help?
Oh, we've been always working on fitness. Fitness is always a part of it. And I did a little bit of work on chipping and putting, but nothing can simulate what we have here this particular week. The amount of little shots and the knobs and runoffs, and either using wedges or long irons or woods around the greens, or even putter. There's so many different shots that you really can't simulate unless you get on the property. That's one of the reasons I came up here last Tuesday and be able to try and do that. And we did quite a bit of work. The golf course has firmed up, gotten faster since then. And it's even this week, even the rain we had the other night, the golf course is still faster.
Front right, Mark. Front left, Mark.
Tiger, in the last few years, at times when you have struggled, the elements have been an issue, whether it's been cold, which has not been good for your body. Augusta, obviously, a difficult walk. I'm curious, this week, where it's going to be hot, what you like, and it's not a taxing walk, how much that can play into potential success for you this week?
It's going to feel like home. This is, hot, humid is what we deal with every single day in Florida, so that's nothing new. It's the amount of just making sure that I keep up hydrated, and the mental tax that the heat will bring. It's going to bring it to all of us, not just me. Everyone's going to be tested, and it's going to make for long rounds with the fall-offs and run-offs on the greens. The rounds time-wise are going to be a little bit longer, and then when you're out in the heat for that length of period of time, that's going to take a little wear and tear on you. Well, I would rather play in hot, humid conditions any day than anything cold. I think pretty much anyone, my age to your age will definitely like it a little hotter.
We're going to go far back right, Mark, and then Taylor.
Tiger, Rory described the meeting in New York with Yasser and the PIF as good and productive. How would you describe it, and do you see a light at the end of the tunnel and this thing getting done?
It was productive, and is there light at the end of the tunnel? I think we're closer to that point than we were pre-meeting. We discussed a lot of different endings and how we get there, and I think that both sides walked away from the meeting, felt like we all felt very positive in the meeting. And as I said, both sides were looking at different ways to get to the end game. And I think that both sides shared a deep passion for how we need to get there. And yes, there are going to be differences of opinion, but we all want the same thing.
Far back right, Taylor.
Tiger, this is the 1,000th USGA championship. You're tied for the record with most USGA championships with 9 with Bob Jones, and this week you're receiving the Bob Jones Award. What is the significance of all that to you?
Well, I think anytime you're in association with Mr. Jones, it's always incredible. What he did in his amateur career, winning the AMs and the Opens, and then obviously creating Augusta National. The fact that I get a chance to be honored with his award tonight, it's very special. I've been able to play in this, well, I would say not in this championship, but in the USGA championships since I was 14 years old. So it's been a long time, and I've always enjoyed it at all levels. And tonight's gonna be very special.
Front left, Jonathan.
Tiger, how different is the surrounds around the greens different from what you remember from 99 and 05, and what sort of thought process goes into how you're going to play it, whether it's putter, wedge, or a 7 or 8 iron?
Yeah, it's all different. I played under bent grass, so now having a Bermuda, it's very different. It's grainy. We didn't have the grain on the greens, and during those Open championships, and they were softer than they are now. Granted, I know the surrounds were burnt out in 05, but the greens were not like what they are right now. That's very different, and the shot selections around the greens I think are more plentiful this year, from either putting it to wedging it, as you said, 6 or 7 irons, and I've used long irons and woods around the greens, and I've seen a number of guys do the same thing. So there's a lot of different shot selections, and the grain's going to play a big part of it. And the last few days playing practice rounds, I'm guilty as well as the rest of the guys I played with. We've putted off a lot of greens, and it depends on how severe the USGA wants to make this and how close they want to get us up to those sides. But yeah, I foresee, just like in 05, watching some of the guys play ping pong back and forth. So it could happen.
Just a few more. Claire on the right, and then Jeff.
Hi, Tiger. How has it been having Charlie out here with you, and what are his responsibilities kind of as player support out there?
Well, I think having Charlie out here is very special. I mean, to have the father-son relationship that we have and extend it into this part of both of our lives. He's playing a lot of junior golf, and I'm still playing out here, so it's neat for him to see the guys that he watches on TV and YouTube and TikTok and where the hell it is that they do, and just to have he sees it at home. I mean, he's with JT and Rick a lot, but to see other guys hit the golf ball, it doesn't really do it justice until you actually see it in person. And he was very excited today to watch Max and Minwoo and watch them hit golf balls, and they talked to him quite a bit, especially Minwoo and him. I think they're closer to age than I am to anybody else. So it's great. It's great for us to be able to share these moments together. And as far as his responsibilities are, it's the same. I trust him with my swing and my game. He's seen it more than anybody else in the world. He's seen me hit more golf balls than anyone. So I tell him what to look for, especially with putting. And he gave me a couple little side bits today, which was great, because I get so entrenched in hitting certain putts to certain pins, and I tend to forget some of the things I'm working on. I just want to see the balls roll, and he reminds me every now and again, which is great. We have a great relationship and a great rapport like that, and it's a wonderful experience for both of us.
Last question here, front left.
Yeah, Tiger, welcome back to the Sand Hills. Good to see you. Second off, we talked about the renovation, first U.S. Open since we did the reno here. Up and downs around the greens. We've seen the putting, the chipping, the 3 woods. How do you see yourself approaching that this week?
I think I'll do all of the above. There are a few areas in which I would putt, and there's also a few areas in which I would use my 56 or 60. I have used up to a 4-iron, bumping and running it, and I tried a few woods out there. I didn't like the way that reacted. But some of the areas are more grainy than others, and I think that's one of the things me in particular, I need to watch out for is some of the chatter that you might get coming up the hills, and how much speed you're going to have coming up and then over the next ridge. That's the beauty of playing Donald Ross golf courses. He tests you, and since the renovation here, I think They've done an amazing job of doing that. But just we were talking about the last couple of days is that when Donald did this golf course and made the greens this severe, I don't think he intended it to be running at 13 on the Stimpmeter. There was the speed of fairways. So, that's one of the differences. And when you go to most golf courses they're very severe, but we're playing under faster conditions. So it's more of a test, and it's going to be a great test and a great war of attrition this week. And it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us.
Sorry, I forgot about Jeff. Hard to do, but Jeff, one more.
Tiger, was last week
Yeah,
the first time you were here since 05?
That is correct. Yes.
So we obviously have talked about the greens, but from your architect's perspective, the look off the tees and the change since you were last
Yes.
year, what do you think?
The look off the tees are about the same. I know it's more native and more open looking, but from when I watched from 05 and what I saw in 14, yes, there is a bit of a change, but that's no big deal. But the surrounds are very different. Going from bent to Bermuda, it is a significant change. We were half joking that by the end of the week, it might be one of those Bermuda greens when they get so slick that you bend down to read a putt or you bend down to fix a ball mark and your putter slips. I think it has that kind of look and that kind of sheen that it could get there by Sunday. The only thing that would stop it would be the humidity that's coming in. But it has that look and feel that this could be one of the opens where whatever the leading score is, that's probably as low as we'll ever go after the first day.
Tiger, thanks for your time. We look forward to seeing you tonight at the Bob Jones Award ceremony.
You got it. Thank you.